Hello and welcome back Plus Squad. Today we're going to recap romantic anime movie Over the Sky. Spoilers alert. The movie starts off with a flashback of a little girl and a boy building something with rocks, and then a woman walks towards them. In the next instance, their little rock formation breaks down and our girl wakes up into reality. Right away realizing she's late to school, she finishes her last-minute homework and gets ready to go to school. Our main protagonist Mayo Mayamasu, who has two best friends named Arata Kishimo and Madoka. She meets them at the train station. At school, Arata notices that Mayo is more exhausted than before, but she ignores it. Shortly afterwards, they get their exam scores and Mayo sees that she has scored a 20 on her recent math exam. That one is too relatable, man. During the lunch break, Arata and Mayo speak about the boundary between sky and space, and Arata says it's called Over the Sky. The two of them take a break on the weekend, and at the end of the day, Arata gives Mayo a bracelet, saying it has a good luck charm. He tries to confess to her, but Mayo changes the conversation. I can see the friend zone incoming, man. Soon after their markup exams, Mayo's best friend Madoka asks if Mayo likes Arata, and Mayo lies, saying she has no feelings for him. Later that day, Mayo sees Arata and Madoka together in the train station and becomes jealous. A boy, girl's logic. Mayo and Arata have another trip where they visit a fortune shop. Arata starts to see white orbs and the fortune teller warns that trouble is on the way. Arata screams, after having a panic attack. Then he grabs Mayo and runs away. Mayo shrugs him off along the way and questions their relationship. When Arata is about to speak, Mayo rejects him straight away, saying that there's nothing between them. Like, what the hell, wasn't she jealous a minute ago? She leaves a crestfallen Arata behind, but immediately regrets it. I can call this a bipolar case, literally. That evening she realizes her mistake and runs back to confess to him. But along the way her bike crashes and she decides to postpone the journey. Well, unfortunately she doesn't get isekai'd into another world, but rather next day tries to speak to Arata. But the boy is really pissed about the rejection and straight up ignores her and goes and speaks with another girl. Way to go, boy, I'm proud. Mayo spends the whole day thinking about what she had done and tries to fix a relationship on their way home. But a sudden blue beam of light transports her into another world. Finally, isekai'd. She simply went to the world that exists between sky and space. Here, she finds a train floating on the water, whales who can fly, and a weird talking toy with a cute voice. That toy's name is Jiben, and he explains that Mayo is in the world border. He tries to lead her through a doorway, which will make her forget everything about the human realm. But a kimono-wearing girl comes running towards Mayo and explains the reason Mayo arrived at the world border is because of an out-of-body experience. Soon, the world is invaded by someone known as the Requiem, and the three of them run off to a train station to escape. Once they're inside, the kimono-wearing girl introduces herself as Huchan and explains if Mayo needs to go back to the human realm, she needs a train ticket and a desire to return. She tries using her cell phone to call Arata, and surprisingly, it works. Arata gets confused on how Mayo is calling when her unconscious body is right in front of him, so he hangs up on the call and runs away from the room once again. Proud buddy. On the world border, Mayo, Jimin, and Kyuku-chan visit a strange old man by the train station in order to get a train ticket to the human realm. But Mayo, for some reason, forgets about her memories with Arata. The lost and found officer gives us sorry lads, you're on your own look, and yeets out from the train station. Now Mayo is stuck trying to remember what she should say to Arata, so her two friends tell it's time to visit the goddess. The goddess turns out to be Ms. Mori, a person who Mayo knew when she was a kid. Ms. Mori explains the goddess can be anyone Mayo dreams of, and the reason why the goddess has the appearance of Mori is because Mayo wished for that. Meanwhile, back in the human realm, Arata goes back to the fortune teller and asks for her to save Mayo. The fortune teller tries to send him off, but Arata soon discovers that she's one of his cousins. The fortune teller reveals the reason why she didn't reveal her identity. Arata finally convinces her to help him, and the fortune teller agrees to help him as long as he does the hard part of the job himself. Just when his luck gets better, Arata's soul leaves his body and flies back to the world border. Seriously, this guy seems to have some really bad luck. Meanwhile, the world border, the old lady Ms. Mori points to a door and tells Mayo to walk through it to face her fears. After walking inside, Mayo realizes that she was always afraid of pushing forwards. She never tried to change the things that she should have changed. and never took an effort to change the things around her. Then she breaks into song, walks through her memories, and comes back out to get a train ticket. She remembers what she needs to say to Arata, and finally gets the train ticket. With her goal achieved, she gives some final hugs to the group and gets back into the train to leave. Halfway through the journey, the train comes to a halt and Mio gets out to see what happened. Everything's calm, so she walks through the train tracks and reaches the next station, where she meets Jimin for the second time. Jimin says the reason why Mio cannot move through the world border is because she wants to be in the world border. Mio denies this and runs back to meet Grandma Mori to get advice. Ms. Mori listens to her story and then transforms into a more younger, beautiful woman with a golden ray of light. She explains that this is her true form of the goddess. She explains the reason why Mio cannot cross the border is because of an evil entity called the Requiem. She sends Mio through another door, and Mio enters a memory of her. This memory is from the last summer festival. She remembers how Arata took her there and said something during the fireworks festival. She doesn't hear his sounds, so she tries to remember what she said. Just then, the memory shard breaks and transforms into a white-haired man. If you still haven't figured it out yet, this guy is Requiem. He says he took interest in Mio because of her peculiar visit to the world border, and then says he should stop her. Afterwards, he transforms into a giant monster with arms and chases after Mio. Our girl seems to have some good luck lying around her because Jimin comes to her rescue. Knowing he doesn't have enough physical strength to defeat Requiem, Jimin throws Mio into his mouth and she gets transferred into another part of the world border where she gets rescued by a flying fish. This flying fish turns out to be Kyuko-chan, and together they try to escape Requiem's grasp. At the final moments they fail and Mio falls back into the water and realizes she's ready to give up. Just then, Arata comes to her rescue, and together they break free from the illusion and land on another part of the world's border. Mio finally realizes what Arata had been trying to say to her. She remembers that Arata confessed his love to her during the fireworks festival, and she pretended not to hear it. Just when the two lovers are reunited, Arata's figure begins to fade back in the human realm. The fortune teller tries to bring back Arata. Once he wakes up, he snaps at her, asking why she brought him back. The fortune teller explains that Arata has the ability to travel to the world border using his astral body, and that could be extremely dangerous. Together, the two head off to the hospital. Mio is in. Meanwhile, Mio's own astral body reaches the hospital, but when she meets Arata, she realizes he doesn't see her. Requiem comes back again and explains that she met with a fatal injury the day she had the car crash, and she had been in her astral body ever since that day. Remember when Arata seemed to ignore her back at school? That's because he didn't see her. Mio begs Reckless to give her a chance to speak to Arata, but Requiem says it was all her choice. Arata tries to sense Mio's presence and meets her one last time in the hospital. But just before Mio can confess, she fades away. The bracelet. Arata gave her breaks and disappears as well. The fortune teller helps Arata get Mio's body into a different place where they can see the horizon together, and Mio and her astral body arrives at the same place. In order to permanently go to the world border, both Requiem and the goddess give her the choice to visit any world she wants. But both Ku-chan and Jimin tell her to make her own choice. Mio makes a choice for one last time, and she remembers she wanted to tell Arata that she loved him. Then finally, she's thinking straight for once. With her willpower, she opens her own door and sang farewell to the people in the world border. She returns through the door she opened back into her own body. When the morning arrives, she finally opens her eyes and sees Arata looking at her. They hug and Mio finally confesses her love to him in a whisper. And the movie ends here. If you enjoyed the recap, make sure to subscribe, or I'm gonna be mad. I'm just joking, but still do it.